Okay. I am in the workout facility, y'all, on the property that I live. So this is the thing, y'all. Substance versus kindness, right? So I was just talking to a relative several minutes ago, or about 30 minutes ago, we'll say, right? And so the relative mentioned kindness. But what is that, right? So just because I give you what you want doesn't mean I don't love you. And just because I give you what you want doesn't mean I do love you, if that makes sense. For example, I could be giving you drugs, alcohol. I could be stopping you from getting a job, things like that. So that's the struggle, especially for young people when they're going through those narcissistic stages of life. And we all went through those. I don't care if you're not a narcissist, you're not a sociopath, or you're not a full-blown psychopath. Most young people, or a lot of people, or a lot of young people, they go through narcissistic stages in life where they may feel love because someone's being nice. I can be very nice and I could talk to you nice. Hey, sonny boy. Hey, hey, little boy. And I could be handing you poison. That's not a nice person. See, when somebody's truly nice, I would rather have someone that said the right thing to me with a stern voice than somebody that's saying the wrong thing to me with this so-called fake kind voice. Okay? Because enablers, a lot of them are narcissists. Okay? A lot of enablers, they're not all empaths. So the difference is, if someone's an enabler and they're a narcissist, right, deep in their soul, they know that they're doing wrong by you. Whether it be turning you against your parents, letting you lay up at their house jobless, and all that type of stuff. Those are people that are enabling bad behaviors, but at the same time, those are not empathic people. Empathic people, we don't want to enable bad behaviors. I don't want to teach my children not to work a job. And then when I'm dead and gone, they're homeless, laying outside because I told them at a young age not to work a job. So they ended up out on the street when I was dead and gone. So my empathic trait, I want better for them. I want them to be able to survive without me. But that's the thing with young people. They got to understand, just because somebody lets them do what they want to do, not just young people, middle-aged people, older people. You know, you've had people, I remember a situation many, many years ago where this person that was like almost a family member, not by blood relation, but this was basically a borderline family member in some sense. And I could remember this gentleman ended up having a stroke, right? Somebody I had known since I was a child. But I'll never forget how his wife repeatedly brought liquor home for him. Repeatedly fed him foods that weren't healthy. Okay, things like that. Like, that was a narcissist. That narcissist did not care if that man had a stroke. And the narcissist, she got punished for that because guess what? When he had the stroke, she had to take care of him. And she should. She fed him all that liquor. She fed him all that beer. She fixed up that bar in their home. So see, that's one example. That's a narcissist. That's someone that's at a minimum narcissistic. Because at the end of the day, that man had a stroke. And this is what enablers do. And I never remember this lady ever saying, you know, that alcohol is not good for you. Please stop drinking. Let's pray together. This was not a praying woman either. I mean, this woman had very few empathic traits. And yes, praying is an empathic trait if it's done genuinely, okay? Praying is very empathic, okay? Like I said, if you're praying and it's genuine and you're not doing it to get a job, or if you're not just doing it for selfish reasons, and if you pray when things are going bad or things are at your worst. Or no, let me take that back. When you pray when things are good too. When you pray no matter what, that's an empathic trait. But yeah, that's just an example. So I had to explain to my relative, because there's this particular person that was in my relative's life, and she has this quote unquote, or he has this quote unquote kind or calm voice. What a young person may think is nice. But then at the same time, the substance and the enabling of my relative has a very detrimental outcome to his or her personality. Or we'll just say, well, not personality. Let me take that back because he just caught that here. Okay, so he caught an error. So what was the bad thing I said? His or her? Well, it can be a detriment to your personality, because when you're young, your personality's formed. And if you are enabled to do bad things, that can lead to having a personality disorder too. Because that's what I'm talking about on this channel, or one of the things I talk about on this channel is personality disorders, right? Are you listening? Yeah. So it can lead to that because you're being groomed to think that wrong is right. Because this so-called person has a nice voice when you're being taught wrong things, or you're being enabled to do wrong things. And one of the wrong things is to be disrespectful towards people that have reared you or raised you. Does that make sense? Okay, so he just nodded his head, yes. So, and that's something we were discussing, so that's something I thought I would implement on my channel. Look at the substance of what somebody's teaching you, not just if they're sounding nice. I could be sounding nice and sounding kind and telling you to jump from a mountain and hurt yourself, okay? So you got to remember, if we look at many of our cases with some of the most infamous psychopaths, at least to the public eye, they sounded nice. Okay? Oftentimes, even when psychopaths and serial killers are being interviewed, they don't sound mean, loud, and aggressive. I might sound more loud and aggressive right now than that serial killer psychopath, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to try to lure you in, take you in the woods and chop you up for your family to find you later. So see, that's the whole point. Okay, my voice. I have some assertiveness and aggression and deepness in my voice, right? I may not have that, hey, y'all, hey, you know, I don't have that voice. I'm not going to come on here with that. My voice may scare some subscribers that may have subscribed away. I don't care though. I'm about the message, okay? And I'm going to be who I am. So that's the thing. So we got to worry about substance, not just kind voice. Is this person letting me lay up at their house when I could be out here earning some money so I can buy me a house? This is something I'm teaching my relative right now. Okay? I may have more of a sternness or loudness to my voice than this other person, but you got to look at the substance of what I'm teaching. Okay? And that's the problem with young people today. They're so quick to run away to where they can just get... No, I'm talking about all young people and teaching the message. And it's a message that you can learn too. Young people are too quick to run away to something that's bad, whether it be leaving their jobs. Running away don't literally mean running away, like running away from home or nothing like that. When I say running away, I mean running away from what is good. Does that make sense? Running away from what is good and what's going to be better for your future. That kind of running away. I don't mean it literally. Not like a runaway thing. Does that make sense? I mean, like you're walking away. We can say walking away from what is good. Because that's easy. I've done it before in my life too, son. You understand what I'm saying? I've done that too. But when I look back on it, I wish I would have done something different. But sometimes when we walk away or run away from what's good, it's more detrimental. Does that make sense? Yeah. Because it's something that you might not can repair that easy. Okay. So y'all, advanced insight is inbuilt in my personal life too. I don't just preach and do YouTube videos. I also take the same amount of time to teach my relatives and friends, and I'm a listening ear. That's why I try to bring some of that energy to this channel, because that's what I do in real life anyway. Try to encourage. And I want this young man right here to be a homeowner, to get the job that he wants, and I want to encourage him and teach him independence. Because it's so easy for this young man to go a different route, because you're always going to have narcissistic people in the world that's going to encourage young people, middle-aged people, and all of us to do the wrong thing. But at the end of the day, when we walk to that direction, which is the wrong direction, and we run to that direction, who suffers? The empathic people. Because this young man here, he does have some level of empathy. So, and in the long run, he'll thank me later. He will. But we got to get our young people, we got to start talking to our young people. Because narcissists, psychopaths, and sociopaths, they're always going to be willing to guide your young people in the wrong direction. And after that direction is poverty. It's less financial stability for these young people too, because they don't learn the discipline and the morals that's going to lead them to a better spiritual and financial place in life. Okay, so that's the thing. So just remember, worry about substance. And you might be listening to this video and you're not a new subscriber yet. Don't let a little profanity I use every blue moon, what you may think is an aggressive sternness in my voice. I have a very loving heart. It's just the way I give my message. This is just who I am. Like I always say on some of my videos, this is advanced insight, not fake insight. So I'm not on here to be fake. I'm just giving it like it is so somebody can do better. Along with sharing this video with this young man here, my relative, my flesh and blood, while he's on this treadmill, y'all. What speed is that treadmill at? 9, okay. What is it, 0 point? Yeah, so it's at 9 or whatever. So, and that's another thing. I'm gonna teach this message right here. See, oftentimes we downgrade people. So, and we make them feel like what they're doing is not enough, right? He's going at a slow to moderate pace here, right? But it don't matter. He's on that treadmill. I'm not going to tell him to speed that up. The reason I'm not, for one, I'm not a personal trainer. 2, I don't know how his legs feel right now. He might have a cramp or ache in his leg. 3, he may speed it up at his own time. So you also got to make young people be relaxed and accomplish their goals sometimes at their pace. So he is on that treadmill, not me. So if he's choosing to start a slow walk right now, he hasn't been on the treadmill for a while. So if that's the way he wants to tread on that treadmill, guess what? You know what he's showing me right now? That he's smart and knowledgeable, right? Because a lot of people, they want to speed it up and fall and flip off of it. Break their leg, break their ankle. Do you know how many people have been thrown off treadmills and injured? It almost happened to me one time. I know another sister that was at the gym that had an accident on a treadmill. She was fortunate she didn't break no bones, but she did have some bruising behind it. So a lot of times we got to give young people credit for their knowledge too, because don't always look at a young person like he or she is weak because they're not going real fast on the treadmill. He's showing that, hey, I'm also concerned about my safety. I'm concerned about pulled muscles. Let them go at their own pace. That's not that serious. Some people would have handled this different. You speed that up. You speed that up. You're not good. You're lazy because you're going at a slow pace. No, I do that when I walk. I'm not always walking real fast. I might walk so fast and I don't see a patch of black ice. So then I'm injured and I can't walk the next day. So that's another thing. Let's encourage our young people. Just support what they're doing. I appreciate the young man being on the treadmill, doing something positive. He could be doing a lot more right now that's not positive, but he's choosing to do something positive. Okay? And that's the bottom line. Encourage that. That's something I got to work on. Right, son? Yeah, that's something that actually I think that he somewhat told me that sometimes I need to work on. Encouraging the positive. And that's something that I've also told him he needs to work on. As a family, you got to work on being more positive with each other. Tell the person the good things they doing. Hey, congratulations, man, I'm glad to see you on the treadmill. Mom, I admire that you have a YouTube channel and you're trying to do the best you could do. Things like that. So I'm going to end this video right here. And I want to thank the young man here for giving me a video idea just through conversation. Okay? And the treadmill just ended. He's off of it, right? And I'm not going to say, get back over there. You didn't do a good enough job. Let people work at their own pace too. Sometimes you got to get in the momentum of doing better things and get used to it too. Okay? And just be grateful that your relatives are at home with you and out of those environments with toxic people that want to send all of us down the wrong road. And this goes for me too, because I've been sent down some wrong roads. It's been a lot of wrong roads I didn't go down. You want to be careful going down the wrong road, because sometimes it's a dead end or it's a cliff at the end. You know, if you go down the wrong road and down that wrong road is a cliff, guess what? You drive off that cliff, you fall off that cliff, and you die. So we want to be careful with our wrong roads, because not all wrong roads are dead ends. Now, if that wrong road is a dead end, you could back up, reverse, and get out of that dead end. But as I said, some wrong roads are cliffs. So you're going to go off the cliff top and not be able to make it out of that situation. So just when you're dealing with people, look at the substance, not how nice they are. It's just like when you're in the workplace, right? You could be at a job, and y'all done been through this at jobs. A lot of times the nicest one that talk the nicest at their job is the biggest snake in the company. They're the biggest snake. They're the one that can't stand it when you get a raise. They're the snake that's sitting there that can't stand it when you get promoted. They're the snake that's sitting there that's mad because you even was hired because you're not the same race as them. Stuff like that. So, like I said earlier, a serial killer and a full-blown psychopath can talk kind to you, but is that a kind person? No, that's a person that's gonna lead you to your destruction. Not just lead you to your destruction, but they're willing to be the person that causes your demise and destruction. So just keep that in mind, and I'm gonna end this video right there on that note. Please like, share, and subscribe, and thank you for tuning in with Advanced Insight on this Sunday. And I am very grateful and appreciative of everything.